Master Manifestors? It is Olivia Grace, and I'm back with another video. And I'm on a lot later than I usually am, or I usually go live. But yeah, I definitely wanted to come live today. So it's the 13th, I think, and it is the 13th day of my 30-day challenge. And I am pushing out a video every single day for the month of July. So you should subscribe if you're not subscribed. I have coaching links in the description, and I also create guided sat scenes and guided revision scenes. Okay, so today I am talking about awareness, right? And this is something that I feel like is a huge missing piece with a lot of people that are manifesting, because they're so like, okay, so our beliefs, like especially like our subconscious beliefs, the things that are not quite on the top of our mind, are basically they're creating, right? So something happens. Okay, I'll use myself as an example. I feel like I can explain this better, like through an example. So recently I found myself basically in the situation where I was living. Me and my roommate at the time kind of got into like a little, I won't say like a fight or like anything like that, but we just had like a disagreement and it just turned into all of this stuff. And let me stop right there, because this circumstance, right? We are so quick to just say, well, it's just that person. That person is just, they're difficult, or they're an asshole, or they're fucked up, or they're this, or they're that. But when things are going wrong, or when things are not going exactly the way that you want them to go, or when people do you wrong, especially like when you feel done wrong by someone, it's so easy to write it off as that's just them, right? But knowing that we're creating, we have to be able to take some responsibility, right? And this is where the awareness comes in, right? So let's take like an SP situation, right? Your SP is doing this or doing that, or not doing this or not doing that. And we want to put that on them. Like, oh, well, they're this way and they're that way. But when you put that on them and you relinquish basically responsibility, number one, you're giving your power away. But number two, you're missing an opportunity to become aware of what is the story that is going on in your mind, right? So, what brings your subconscious beliefs to life and allows you to basically illuminate what is kind of lurking in your mind, what beliefs are still lurking in your mind, right? Because I know a lot of people may feel like, oh, I've been in the state, or I've been doing the things, and I've been believing, and I've been having faith, but you may still have something inside of you that is still opposing what you're wanting, right? But as long as everything is everybody else's fault and nothing has to do with you, and everybody is just fucked up and that's why this thing happened, you don't even get to become aware of what is that pattern within you. It's not to say that what the person did is not fucked up or anything like that, but it's to say what in me, Hydrocarius, what in me called this forth out of this person, right? That is such a monumental question. Or even, a circumstance that happens. What in me called this forth, right? And that's going to bring your awareness to, what am I still believing? What am I still kind of working through? What am I still attaching to myself that's creating these unfavorable circumstances, right? So with me, I went within with, what happened with my roommate, because I mean, I'm not a person that's gonna like blame 100% blame anybody for anything, because I know I'm creating, right? But I did feel, I felt some type of way, of course. But I had to be able to take the focus off of her and ask myself, what is alive in me that created this in the first place, right? And what I came to was this belief that I'm a burden to others, right? This belief that, I don't know, like I'm a burden. And I feel like that comes from like middle child syndrome of feeling like the person that's not that, that's not important, or like not worth like the attention, or worth the whatever. It's just like feeling almost like too much, you know what I mean? Or that you're like trying to make yourself small, and you don't want to be too much, you don't want to be too this, too that. And I realized that I had that going on. I realized that in my life, even with her, with even SP, with other people, I sometimes would have that idea of, I don't want to be a burden, or I don't, I just want to like basically walk on eggshells around people because I don't want to piss them off. You know what I mean? And so, but had I just decided, oh, well, that's just her and she's just this and she's, well, then where would that leave me? I wouldn't be aware of that. And that's something that when you are really like shifting into knowing that you deserve the best and that you are the best, that you're worthy, that you're worth deserving of everything good in life, you can't also be feeling like a burden to others or feeling like it's a burden for you to be prioritized, or a burden for you to basically be like a priority and be important and be, however, right? So that was something for me. Now, also when it comes to awareness, you guys, just being aware of your thoughts. I hope you guys can hear me. It's starting to rain a little hard. But being aware of your thoughts, you guys, is something that I feel like a lot of people, once again, are not per se like 100% aware of what they're thinking, right? And this is like I've been talking like briefly about this with you guys in other videos. But yes, you want to be on top of your thoughts, but you also kind of want to be aware, like listen to the story that you're telling yourself. Listen to the times when you're in your mind telling yourself, oh, still upset with your SP about what happened or what didn't happen, and thinking to yourself, oh, well, things aren't going to work out for me, or even when you're bracing yourself for things to not work out, or all of these things, like there's all these like little subtle things, because we have so many thoughts, but being aware of your thoughts is so extremely helpful for you to discover what am I actually believing? Like, what am I actually believing about myself, about my reality, about my manifestation? And when you become aware of those things, like I know for me, which is crazy because I've meditated for a long time. So I have a bit of awareness. But when I really just started becoming the observer of myself, and this is what I be talking about when I talk about you guys, like separating yourself from yourself. Like there's an Olivia that's talking, that's making this video, and then there's a part of me that is aware that I am making this video and talking. So there is a part of you that is thinking, right, all the time. And most of the time we're like I always like to talk about it like a roller coaster. You're basically on the ride of your thoughts. You're thinking this, you're thinking that, you're thinking this, you're thinking that, you're thinking, and you're not really kind of aware of what you're even thinking, right? And so when you become aware of it, you want to step off the roller coaster and watch yourself on the roller coaster. Instead of it being, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. Now you're watching yourself. Okay, she's thinking this, she's thinking that, she's thinking this, she's thinking that. Because like basically like these subconscious beliefs, these things will appear in our lives as circumstances, as manifestations, as all of these things. And it's easy, like I said in the beginning, to get caught up in the circumstance, and we want to blame it on the circumstance. You know what I mean? Like I said, with me and my ex roommate, I could just, oh well, she's just a bitch, and that's, I know I don't do anything wrong, and I, whatever. So but then I'm not able to look and see what within me created that, right? So like, something happens, maybe you manifest some money and all of it, you lose all of it. And it's like, oh, well, life is just not fair, or, the economy, everything's too expensive. But you're taking away your opportunity to be able to this old lady stopping in front of me. You're taking away your opportunity to discover, but why, but what part of you, like it's bringing the responsibility back to yourself and not on the circumstance. As long as whatever happens in your life, you guys, and a lot, like I said, a lot of people be like, is, oh, you're victim shaming and yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, cool, but you're not a victim. You're a creator, period. I mean, you can be a victim as a creator if you want to, that's on you, but you're not a victim in any circumstance, you guys. So take your power back, and knowing that on some level this was created, maybe not on a conscious level. Obviously we don't sit here and plot on bad things to happen to us, but when you're able to take responsibility, if you can't take responsibility, you guys, you're if you can't be aware and ask yourself, where is this coming from within me, not within everybody else in the world and society and all this other kind of stuff, and the stars and retrograde and all this shit, like if you can't look within yourself and see where these things coming from, it's you're going to keep continuing to repeat history and repeat and repeat and repeat. Like it, you have to be able to become aware of you and see where things are coming from for you to be able to change those things. And the best thing, I used to tell all my clients to meditate. That was like the one thing. Like I give, all my clients things to do, homework to do, but I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But meditating was like a non-negotiable for me, and I may go back to that because a lot of us, we're used to just being caught up. We're used to being on the roller coaster of our thoughts. We're not used to standing back and seeing what we're actually thinking. So by the time we're noticing that something is going on, it's already manifested into full form. And then we want a second cause. We want to say, oh, this is because of that thing, or this is because of that person, or it's everybody else, but it's not me. You know? So I encourage you guys just to go within at all times. Just start to listen to yourself. Listen to the thoughts that you're having. Meditation helps with this, like I said. But when you're next time you're triggered, or next time something happens or whatever, become curious about your mind. Well, what do I believe about myself that would create me, like that would have me create that into my life? What do I believe about the world, about people, that would bring this into my life? What would allow this into my life? And that is literally the first step of being able to manifest. And I'll give you guys one more example and then I'll hop off. But like for me with money, right? So I would do all the techniques of, manifesting this and doing that, and the visualization, the meditation, the subliminals, the this, the that, the that. I was doing all the shit and nothing was working for me, right? And I, you want to say like, oh well, I guess it just doesn't work for me. It just, I guess money is the one thing I just can't manifest. I guess, this, that, and the other. And then when I became aware of my thoughts, though, when I started to really think, okay, what do I really think about money? What do I think about it? I believe that it's hard to manifest. I believe that I can't manifest it. I believe that every time I try to manifest it, it never works for me. So it doesn't matter what the fuck I do. It doesn't matter if I do this or do that. If I believe that I can't manifest money, then I'm not gonna manifest money. You know what I mean? Period. So it's worth it for us to illuminate what exactly is the story I'm telling myself, so that you can come in with the opposite and create what you want instead of just what's been going on. Okay. But you can't be a victim of your circumstances. It can't be everybody else's fault. And also, you be able to change it, right? Because everybody's just a reflection of us. Everything is just a reflection of us. So be curious with yourself, not in a blaming way, not in a shaming way, but just in a, I wonder what is within me that could cause this to express. And yeah, I know that should help you guys. But anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Jacarius, thanks for checking in always. And yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, probably around the regular time. Love you guys.